How you doing, man?
I was just watching this podcast thing the other day about the top selling vampire movies.
Huh.
You know who Tony Baker is?
Yeah.
The comedian. He does like a variety of little self podcasts, like where it's just him talking.
Hmm.
And he has one now where it's just about discussions about the gross box office results of different categories.
Huh.
And so he did the top 10 domestic grossing vampire movies, but he took Twilight out of it.
Good.
Because he was saying like that would just ruin the list because with all the Twilight movies.
Right. It was a
But the Blade
phenomenon for
movies,
different reasons.
yeah, the Blade movies were all like 4 and 5.
Yeah.
I mean, just Blade 1 and 2 were 4 and 5. I'm the other Blade because it was a third Blade
Yes.
and it didn't
Infamous.
make the list.
And you know what? I think it did good in the beginning just because people were just going off the strength of the first two. But, surprise, surprise, when we actually sat down and watched that crap of a movie, it didn't take long for word of mouth to kind of spread and people knew not to mess with it. It didn't get all the return views like the first two movies did. Because I know those movies I saw a couple times back to back inside the theater.
Yeah, a lot of people like Blade 3.
No, I don't think that's right. I don't think that's true. I think that I don't think I think as a joke maybe, but no, I don't think I haven't met anybody that liked it.
So here's the funny thing about Blade is that the big argument is Blade 1 better than 2 because a lot of people say 2 hands down is just the best Blade.
I would say 1 just because of the hurdle it had to do. It had to establish a lot, and then usually if the first movie's done well enough, the second movie's just playtime. You know what I mean? There's no, talk about the beginnings, no origin stories, no nothing. Everything's laid out. You can just have fun in the sandbox versus the person setting up the box, putting the sand in there. So I think it's an easier journey on the second one. But that first one I thought was just the idea of it, the direction of it, the style and all that. That was unheard of, especially for kind of a obscure in a way character like that, And what was interesting was how much Wesley was that character. Like Blade was Wesley. Wesley turned Blade into him. So that swag, the style, the fighting style, the attitude, all that kind of stuff, that was Wesley. That's not how that character was written in the comic book. It wasn't like that. And so that's why I knew when they talk about redoing that Blade movie, I'm like, what can you add to that that's not a person? If it was different if it was a character. Like we kind of know how Tony Stark is, You know how a rich guy probably would be a rich playboy guy. We know how a Batman would be a brooding guy who's a vigilante at night, all that kind of stuff. That could be insert whoever. But when a character is almost like a blank slate and that person is the actor, what do you do without doing a rendition of Wesley Snipes? As much as I like Mahershala and I think he's a dope actor and all that kind of stuff, since the beginning when it was announced, I'm like, what can he possibly add to it? What angle? Because if he's trying to be cool and have that swag, that's Wesley. If he try to fight, and it's not going to be as good as Wesley, but he try to do the fight stuff, that's not going to be, Wesley already did that. If it's going to be the attitude and what will he bring to that that's going to be a different angle that hasn't been done already without you thinking like, oh, that's kind of like how the other actor did that character?
What's funny about that is it could be a different fighting style.
Yeah, it could be a different fighting style, but you know what I mean.
It's not gonna. We've been spoiled a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
Thanks for listening, and please like and subscribe. Be sure to check out past and future episodes of this show, along with my other shows entitled The Movie Bench Quarterbacking Podcast and The J and Podcast, available now on all streaming platforms. Until next time, peace.